Welcome to a game packed with unique features and many fan-favourite Pokémon. Some with familiar moves and abilities, and some with completely new ones. With a whole new story as Johto prepares for an imminent war between Kanto and Hoenn. Almost every line of dialogue throughout the entire game is completely new. You go on an adventure with 3 recurring rivals, including one who always uses an exact copy of your current team, including items, moves, stats, nicknames, everything. Explore an open world with many familiar areas and some totally new ones, where you are free to explore from the very beginning and you can find secrets in high-level areas. Before the first gym, you can explore nearly all of Johto and access multiple powerful TMs like Dark Pulse, Double Edge and Roost, and items like Choice Band, Life Orb, Leftovers. And by the third gym, Kanto can be explored and catchable legendary Pokémon can even be found. The world is alive and full of overworld Pokémon to interact with, including aggressive Pokémon which will attack on sight, and occasionally shiny Pokémon. There is even random weather that changes between areas. The gameplay is balanced by 2 level caps, one limiting the maximum level you can train Pokémon to, and another limiting the maximum level of wild Pokémon you are able to catch. Both are displayed on your trainer card and increase by earning badges and progressing in the story. There are numerous quality of life improvements. All trainers, including gym leaders, can be rematched by talking to them after defeating them, but they yield less experience on a rematch. You can also forfeit matches via the run option. Experience share is available from very early game, giving 50% experience to the whole party. This is upgraded by endgame to give 200% experience. There's also sprint shoes, allowing you to run by default. There is a Remembrall key item, which acts like a portable move relearner with no cost. There's a whole new set of TMs, all of which are fully reusable. HMs can be used by any Pokémon that can learn them without actually needing to know them. There's a portable PC which also acts as a portable Pokémon Center, allowing the player to manage and heal their party almost anywhere. There is a reusable escape rope, there's an infinite repel, and in post-game there's a key item that lets the player instantly warp to important locations. With many more important items, including competitive items like Choice Band, Choice Specs, Focus Sash, etc., also unique key items. One notable item is a new rare vitamin called Ambrosia, which when used maxes all Pokémon stats and happiness with a single use. There's an interesting key item called Red Eye Orb based on the Dark Souls item. When this is used, the player earns a red sprite like an invader from Dark Souls. You earn double money when you beat enemy trainers as an invader, but if you lose, you'll lose all your money. There's also a new invader enemy class throughout the game. These enemies don't have overlevel Pokémon, but they use clever and frustrating strategies. They're all avoidable however, and offer challenge to more hardcore players. One big aspect of the game are the new completely unique mini-games. For example, there's a recurring NPC, who will roleplay popular stories from media such as Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. The player will take part in these stories where they're offered choices, and depending on their choices they take part in battles, with predefined teams depending on the story. You receive powerful rewards as incentive to complete these minigames. There is also a fully revamped Battle Frontier, which features 5 totally new areas including Battle Mirror, where you can battle an exact copy of your current team. Battle Roulette, where you face a random boss trainer and win a random prize. Battle Arcade, which is probably my favourite thing in the whole game. Here, you pick a character whose team you want to use, and a character whose team you want to fight, in the style of a fighting arcade. You start with all the gym leaders unlocked, and you unlock more characters as you progress in the story. Seriously, I've spent many hours just having fun in Battle Arcade. There's a Battle Trial, where you face consecutive battles of increasing difficulty, from enemies you face in the story and in the post-game. You're healed only every 3 battles. You also gain rewards every 3 battles. This is kind of based on Trial Mode from Final Fantasy XII, which was I think the most fun aspect of that game. Finally there's the Battle Tower itself, which in this game offers 5 difficulty modes, and Battle Tower consists of 4 full 6v6 battles, rather than 7 3v3 battles. There are no rules. You can bring anything you want into any of the difficulties. Battle Tower also offers a mirror mode, which might be one of the most challenging things in the game. In mirror mode, you don't use your team, but you use an exact copy of the random enemy team. This makes every match a unique and challenging test of knowledge, skill, and of course luck. These challenges, and the entire game for that matter, are all improved by an extensively updated AI. The AI now knows at all times if it has any moves that can 1-hit, 2-hit or 3-hit KO the player from either the player's current health or their maximum health. It also knows if the player has any moves that can 1-hit, 2-hit or 3-hit KO it from either its current health or maximum health. It uses all of this information to make smart decisions. For example, it will want to use a recovery move like Recover or Roost if it thinks it's only going to get one more turn before being defeated. However, if the player can 2-hit KO it from its maximum HP, it won't bother healing and will just attack. It's particularly smart with boosting moves like Nasty Plot or Dragon Dance. Normally the AI will want to use these moves if it hasn't boosted yet, but it won't do it if the player can 1-hit KO it. Unless it has an intact Focus Sash or Sturdy, then it will attempt to boost. Unless the player has a priority move, then it won't. Unless the player's last move was a boosting move or recovery move, then it might assume that it's being set up on and boost anyway in order to force the player to stop setting up and attack. This is why Battle Tower Mirror Mode is so difficult, because the AI is generally better at being able to use a given team than the player would be. Finally, there is an extensive post-game, featuring 28 legendary Pokémon, 14 of which are Uber, and several huge new maps with over 50 optional bosses and 2 completely unique and overpowered key items as rewards. First, the Mark of God, which is a key item that can be toggled on and off. When it's turned on, it gives the player a gold sprite, makes all player Pokémon appear shiny regardless of their stats, gives the player infinite money, makes the player immune to all aggressive entities like trainers, and changes Nurse Joy's dialogue. And finally, Hand of God, which is probably the most game warping item to ever exist in a Pokemon game. So again, this can be toggled on and off, and when it's turned on and the player gets into a battle, the player's team is replaced with an exact copy of the enemy team, and this persists after battle. The player has the option to restore their team from a previous save when they turn it off. This means the player can instantly make any team they want, or cosplay as any trainer they want. All of this and more awaits in the world of Pokémon Ambrosia.